I'm Dave Kincer, and welcome to the launch of Proven Winners new plants and products for 2027. On behalf of the entire Proven Winners family, thank you for making the time to learn about all the exciting things we have in store for you. I can't wait to show you the new plants and products that our passionate and forward-thinking team has searched the globe to find and has poured years into developing. A lot has changed since the Proven Winners brand launched 34 years ago with 4 plants and one big idea. But the guiding principles of our founders are as strong today as they were back then. Proven Winners always has and always will strive to live up to the promise of being the brand gardeners trust. Proven Winners is a success-focused brand that is built on the belief that a better garden starts with a better plant. Selecting plants not only for their beauty, but also for their long-lasting garden performance has always been our North Star. Because the true measure of a plant isn't how it looks the day you buy it, but how it performs over time. Home gardens are diverse ecosystems that include all sorts of plants, from the trees that cast shade over our perennial gardens to the shrubs that form the foundation plantings for our homes and the hanging baskets that decorate the porch. And it doesn't stop once we head indoors. Houseplants create a vibrant, fresh atmosphere inside our homes too. And of course, all of those spaces and plants need containers, soils, tools, and care products to sustain them. Proven Winners has spent over 3 decades working with renowned plant breeders and innovative product developers all around the world and right here at home. The effort is worth it. Just look at 12,000 independent trial awards our plants have earned over the years. For our broker, grower, retailer, and landscape partners, you can be confident that every single Proven Winners plant on the market originates at facilities run by experts in their fields. Our professional grower teams produce premium quality plants grown to exacting standards. Plus, we maintain strong speculative inventory levels to meet our customers' needs as they arise. Innovative product fulfillment and shipping practices ensure extremely high accuracy with orders. And our dedicated transportation departments utilize the fastest and most reliable delivery methods. Our friendly, long-tenured sales and customer service teams are dedicated to fixing any issues that may pop up along the way. Once the plants have been delivered, our expert grower team is just a quick call or email away with any crop culture assistance our customers may need. Our brand is continuing to grow in 2027 with the addition of our newest brand partner, Pureline Seeds. Together, we are relaunching a dramatically more robust, proven harvest line of vegetables and herbs. Pureline is one of the world's leading suppliers of innovative, flavorful, and nutritious vegetable plants and seeds. They're already hard at work developing a grower network to produce 2 distinct collections: garden-grown varieties for in-ground plantings and the petite patio collection of dwarf plants for containers and raised beds. Enabling people to grow more of their own food is just one of the ways Proven Winners is supporting sustainable gardening efforts. We also continually invest in new ways to grow greener, from our plastic-free EcoPlus containers to 100% recycled tags and post-consumer recycled containers, energy-efficient and water-saving efforts, expanding lines of plants with native roots, solar-powered offices, and so much more. There are many powerful reasons why it makes sense to grow Proven Winners. In an industry full of beautiful plants, it's sometimes difficult to discern which are truly worth the investment. So many are bred for greenhouse performance with little concern for what happens after they leave the retail bench. But Proven Winners is different. We select our plants so that everyone wins. We deliver the genetics growers need, the results retailers see, and the garden performance consumers trust. Proven Winners plants are designed to perform and proven to sell over and over year after year. You might be asking, why don't Proven Winners sit for long in a grower's greenhouse or on store end caps? The answer is simple. Every Proven Winners plant and product is backed by our industry-leading consumer awareness, inspiration, and education campaigns. We are working to build strong brand recognition and consumer trust because a successful customer turns into a repeat customer, and a repeat customer turns into a lifelong, proven winners enthusiast. In the end, that is the very best value we can deliver to all of our trade partners, value that is unmatched by any other plant brand or breeder in the industry. Proven Winners' consistent, high-impact outreach efforts encompass thoughtful consumer listening and outreach campaigns, targeted digital and traditional marketing methods, extensive social media interactions, including partnerships with more than 30 content creators, and education led by our experts to aid consumer success. At the retail level, our brand support drives business success, not just plant sales. Our dedicated retail solutions team is passionate about helping independent retailers succeed, providing them with a comprehensive set of training and marketing tools. For more than 20 years, we've offered free garden center staff training through our certification program early each spring. Our Connect Plus marketing program assists independent garden centers with their own local marketing efforts, while the Connect Space Intranet Hub organizes their most important business information with one easy-to-manage tool. Proven Winners is elevating the live goods category beyond pretty plants, driving consumer traffic to garden centers across North America, where more and more people request Proven Winners by name every year. For 2027, our focus is on delivering more to our customers, more brand awareness, more new customers, and more targeted marketing. We'll invest 30% more of our outreach efforts on attracting, inspiring, and educating novice gardeners, younger plant buyers, and new homeowners. We will implement expanded lifestyle-forward, education-focused messaging, advertising, digital and social media content, packaging, in-store signage, and comprehensive garden solutions. And has been the case for decades, we will continue to print the phone number for our consumer helpline on every Proven Winners branded container. When gardeners have questions or concerns, our North America-based customer care team is ready to help. To date, we've answered 97,000 questions through our website alone, not to mention all the calls and direct messages we field every day. It's how we cultivate the brand gardeners trust, and you won't find a more comprehensive, far-reaching marketing program in the industry than Proven Winners. So now, let's see some cool new plants, products, and promotions. If you're looking for a solid place to start with choosing Proven Winners, look to our National Plants and Recipes of the Year. They represent the very best in each of the plant categories we offer across our entire brand to help build gardeners' confidence and success no matter their level of experience. For over a decade, this program has been delivering strong results for growers and retailers who are notified 1 year in advance of the upcoming selections. National Plants and Recipes of the Year are featured heavily across all aspects of our broad-reaching marketing campaigns to build demand. It's no doubt consumers will be looking for these plants and recipes in 2027. We've also seen demand for these items continue to grow in subsequent years, so they are truly plants that need to be on growers' benches and in garden centers. Don't miss this low-hanging fruit sales opportunity. Here's a look at our 2027 National Plants and Recipes of the Year. We know you'll be impressed with the 2027 Annual of the Year, Color Blaze El Brido Coleus, for its robust vigor and tricolor burgundy, red, and yellow foliage that lights up container recipes and landscapes. Since it's bred to bloom very late, it lasts all season without going to seed and declining too soon. Our outstanding collection of Color Blaze Coleus takes the guesswork out of growing annuals for consumers since it's super versatile in the sun and shade and can take the heat. Supertunia Vista petunias go through the most rigorous development and trialing process to make sure they meet our extremely high standards for vigorous growth, incredible flower coverage, weather tolerance, and all-season performance. The 2027 Petunia of the Year, Supertunia Vista Cool Jazz, is everything you love about the extremely popular Supertunia Vista Jazzberry, but in a cool orchid pink color. It's the perfect tone to kick off the spring season and shines in the garden all the way through autumn. Representing a true color breakthrough for its class, our 2027 Landscape Annual of the Year, Rockin' Fuchsia Salvia's blooms absolutely glow in the garden. The large flowers are a magnet for hummingbirds and pollinators. You'll find its habit is also much more refined, and it exhibits strong heat tolerance and deer resistance. Rockin' Fuchsia works beautifully in large containers and is an impressive landscape plant. Racking up awards throughout North America, our 2027 Caladium of the Year, Heart to Heart Bottle Rocket, is a stunning tricolor variety that grows beautifully in both sun and shade. This plant loves as much heat and humidity as you can throw at it, so don't worry about it when the summer heat kicks in. Heart to Heart Bottle Rocket's large red, green, and white patterned leaves stand out in any landscape or container and thankfully are not attractive to deer. Our 2027 Perennial of the Year, Luminary Sunset Coral Tall Garden Phlox, is one that's easy to spot from across the garden center, and it's even more impressive as a mature plant in the garden. Large, fragrant clusters of coral blooms are intensely pigmented in a blend of orange and pink, colors that draw in butterflies and hummingbirds. This native perennial cultivar has healthy, dark green foliage and exhibits excellent mildew resistance. On any given sunny day, all sorts of pollinating bees and butterflies are out enjoying the rosy purple flowers of our 2027 Landscape Perennial of the Year, Serendipity Allium. It blooms profusely starting in midsummer above the blue-green foliage, which is a distinguishing trait from the green-leaved Millennium Allium. Serendipity has excellent deer and rabbit resistance and doesn't need a ton of moisture to thrive. Proven Winners Perennials partner Walter's Gardens has long been known for their tremendous hosta breeding, and the incredibly impressive 2027 Hosta of the Year, Shadowland Giant Woo La La, is no exception. It grows at the same scale as the popular Shadowland Empress Woo, but takes it to the next level by adding an apple green margin to the giant blue-green leaves. Give it about 5 years to reach a remarkable mature size of 3 to 4 feet tall by 5 to 6 feet wide. As our strongest, most prolific reblooming lilac, Bloomerang Ballet easily earns its place as our 2027 Flowering Shrub of the Year. It first produces classically fragrant purplish pink flowers in the spring, then comes roaring back with another heavy round of bloom from late summer through fall. Couple that with excellent deer resistance and an ability to thrive in almost any soil, and you have a sure win with Bloomerang Ballet. Deervilla is a tough shrub that's adaptable to sun and shade and feeds pollinators, but it's the foliage that really makes our 2027 Landscape Shrub of the Year, Kodiak Red 2.0, shine. It's an amazing native alternative to burning bush, with more intense and longer-lasting orange-red fall color than the original. There's no mistaking our 2027 Rose of the Year, Oh So Easy en Fuego, with its blend of super-saturated yellow, orange, and red flowers. It blooms non-stop for months without deadheading, and the vibrant flowers contrast beautifully with the super clean, glossy dark green foliage. This award-winning rose has been a standout performer in both Michigan and Florida trials. For over 20 years, starting with the legendary Limelight Hydrangea, Proven Winners Color Choice has been known around the world for introducing the best hydrangeas on the market. The 2027 Hydrangea of the Year, Pufferfish Panicle Hydrangea, has had everyone talking since the first days it was spotted in our trial gardens, and it's easy to spot at the garden center too. Puffy white flowers engulf the entire plant reliably every summer. This mid-sized 3 to 5 foot hydrangea is easy to tuck into most landscapes or even large containers. As the Proven Winners Color Choice brand expands to include more offerings for warmer southern and western states, tropical Hollywood hibiscus is a natural fit. Their large flowers, long-lasting color, and clean, disease-resistant foliage makes them some of the easiest and best tropical hibiscus you'll ever grow. You'll recognize our 2027 heat-loving shrub of the year, Hollywood Hibiscus Rico Suave, by its clear lemon-yellow flowers with a bright red and burgundy center. As one of the most colorful members of the Proven Winners Color Choice Ornamental Trees program, our 2027 through 2028 Tree of the Year Midnight Express Redbud offers rich burgundy foliage that lasts long after the bright pink spring flowers fade. It's a cultivar of our native eastern redbud that is super easy to grow and fills the understory space in landscapes. Innovation is a hallmark of our LeafJoy houseplant line, and our 2027 Houseplant of the Year, Tropical Tapestry Kura Kura, is a perfect example. You've never seen anything quite like this plant's huge, remarkably textured, paddle-shaped leaves. It's one you'll want to touch when you walk by just to make sure it's real. Tropical Tapestry Kura Kura flourishes in low to medium light and warm, humid environments like a bathroom or kitchen. Next, let's take a look at the 2027 Recipes of the Year. For over 30 years, Proven Winners has led the industry in creating eye-catching container recipes that have been highly profitable for growers and retailers and help consumers decorate their porches and patios. Proven Winners Recipes of the Year go through a rigorous trialing process where they are evaluated for both grower performance and season-long consumer performance. We also look at color trends to make sure there will be strong appeal within the retail sales channel. Jazz Club, Pebble Beach, and loads of fun are our 2027 Recipes of the Year that feature Proven Winners annuals. And to die for is our 2027 Caladium Recipe of the Year. Let's look at each one for a moment. Combining three of our very best in the Supertunia Vista series, our National Recipe of the Year Jazz Club is guaranteed to be a hit. These plants will grow into massive hanging baskets and upright containers, but are equally impressive as a flowering annual ground cover in sunny landscapes. Purple has ranked among consumers' top 3 favorite flower colors for decades, and our National Recipe of the Year Pebble Beach has it in spades. 2 eye-catching bicolor purple and white flowers, Supertunia Blue Tiara Petunia and Superbena Sparkling Amethyst Verbena, are combined with vigorous, solid white Supertunia Mini Vista Petunias. Next up is our shade-loving National Recipe of the Year, Loads of Fun. Blooming reliably in as little as a few hours of morning sun, it combines 3 of our best part shade to full shade annuals. Together, they blend to make the perfect mix of mounding and trailing varieties and form a well-rounded hanging basket or upright container. Another fun recipe for shade is our Caladium Recipe of the Year, To Die For. Ever since the initial launch of Heart to Heart Caladiums, the unique lavender pink tones of Vava Violet have made it one of the most sought-after caladiums in the line. Paired with the tricolor pink, green, and white pattern leaves of Heart to Heart, Heart and Soul, it's one of the prettiest pairings we've seen, and we know you are going to love it too. If you think about some of the most iconic annuals you've grown, plants like Supertunia Vista Bubblegum Petunias or Suncredible Sunflowers, they all began as an item on a list of new varieties like I'm going to share with you next. Our product development team scours the world to find the very best plant breeders who are doing cutting-edge work. It allows us the luxury of being visionaries in lesser explored genera like James Pertenia, Heliotropium, and Volvulus, while continuing to innovate in well-loved categories like Petunia, Calibrachoa, and Verbena. We spend years evaluating thousands of seedlings and conducting independent trials, selecting only the most outstanding plants with the broadest performance range to become Proven Winners annuals. We're looking for plants that perform well for everyone, from growers and retailers to landscapers, and most importantly, consumers. Garden performance has always been Proven Winners' #1 priority when evaluating new plants. If it doesn't grow well in the garden, why introduce it? Sticking to our guiding principle, a better garden starts with a better plant, sets Proven Winners apart from every other plant brand. So let's see what's on tap for the 2027 season, starting with our top pick annuals. Super Bell's Double Mardi Gras Calibrachoa was definitely a staff favorite during trials because of the sheer number of blooms pumped out and for its unique color pattern you'll only find at Proven Winners. Despite the novel color, Super Bell's Double Mardi Gras is an amazing performer, flowering non-stop from spring to frost with no deadheading. It's attractive in grande pots for individual branded container sales, but also loose enough to mix well with other medium vigor plants like Supertunia petunias, Superbena verbena, and unplugged salvia. Another top pick annual for 2027 is a name you'll certainly recognize, but with a twist: Supertunia Bordeaux 2 petunia. In this new iteration of our most popular purple vein Supertunia, we've solved the issues of somoclonal variation, which sometimes led to foliar distortion and blind shoots. Supertunia Bordeaux 2 is a genetically stable selection that blooms earlier, so it'll be ready for key spring sales windows. Delivering a consistent blooming performance all season and durability in summer storms, the slightly lighter lavender purple flowers have deep purple veins and occasionally display a white picotee along the edges of its petals. Supertunia Bordeaux 2 is also more refined with a fuller, well-branched habit that's covered in self-cleaning flowers from spring to frost. Our last topic annual for 2027 is a new species of salvia for Proven Winners, Salvia gregii. It has taken many years to develop our new Outshine series, including Outshine Orchid and Outshine Red Salvia. Until now, this type of salvia has lacked flower power and the shape has been pretty rangy. The new Outshine salvias solve both of these issues. Not only have they been some of the best performing annuals in our Florida trials, but they have also grown equally well in northern trials. Top pick Outshine Orchid is a rounded, ball-shaped plant with loads of bright orchid pink flowers carried just above the foliage. It's slightly more compact than the Outshine Red Salvia, which has a more upright mounded shape. The glowing cherry red flowers are a magnet for hummingbirds. Both Outshine varieties are deer resistant, tolerant of high heat and humidity, and pair beautifully together. New for 2027, we've also added two entirely new genera to the Proven Winners Annuals line, Felicia and Fuchsia. Expanding this way isn't something we take lightly. We'll only introduce a new genus if we think what we have is truly unique and improved, and if we're sure it's worthy of space on a grower's and retailer's bench. So let me tell you what makes our new Felicia and Fuchsia so special. Sea Spray Felicia is a product of modern breeding, which, much like we've done with our game-changing lobelias and lobularias, delivers a much stronger garden performance. Sea Spray is more heat tolerant and doesn't require nighttime temperatures to be cool to bloom well. It's a highlight of the garden in spring and fall, but also blooms well into the summer months, especially in cooler climates. Plus, it's hard to beat those true blue flowers. Try pairing Sea Spray Felicia with other plants that like to dry down a bit between waterings, such as Super Bell's Calibrachoa and Campfire Bidens. Sun Pendant's Hot Pink is the first fuchsia to live up to our standards for outstanding all-season garden performance. Most fuchsias easily fizzle out as soon as the hint of summer heat rolls in, plus they can't take the sun. Our new Sun Pendant's Hot Pink improves tremendously on both fronts, handling the heat and sun better than any other fuchsias we've trialed. It blooms non-stop from spring to frost, producing bicolor hot pink and magenta purple flowers on upright mounded to semi-trailing plants. In our trials, we saw no seeds produced and no deadheading was needed for continuous bloom. That allows growers and retailers to sell Sun Pendant's Hot Pink Fuchsia right alongside Super Bell's Calibrachoa and similar all-season performers in hanging baskets and uprights over a much broader window. But we're not just on the hunt for new genera like Felicia and Fuchsia. We're also constantly striving to improve our best-selling plants. Supertunia Vista Bubblegum is a name that has become synonymous with proven winners over the past 2 decades. There's simply no other petunia on the market that can match its extraordinary garden performance. Independent trials have proven that time and again, awarding it 236 times so far, and we're not done yet. The new Supertunia Vista Bubblegum 2 petunia is everything you love about the original, but with brighter bubblegum pink flowers. It grows vigorously into massive mounds of wide-spreading color that requires no deadheading to stay in bloom from spring to frost. Supertunia Vista Bubblegum 2 will work in all the same mixes you've come to rely on, like Above and Beyond and our 2025 National Recipe of the Year, Vista View. And if you use it in landscape designs, it'll be a 1-for-1 swap. Another name you're sure to recognize is Suncredible Yellow Sunflower, which is also getting an upgrade for 2027. Building on the success of the original, Suncredible Yellow 2 has an even more impressive bloom performance and refined balance habit that doesn't sacrifice its impressive size. Growers will also appreciate its earliness to flower. Suncredible Yellow 2 is hands down the best multifloral sunflower we've ever trialed, and we've seen them all. Joining our multiple award-winning series of Superbell's Double Calibrachoa this year is Superbell's Double Midnight Magenta. Intense magenta flowers are inked with a magenta red punch center, adding an essential color to the line. Growers will appreciate that Superbell's Double Midnight Magenta is day-length neutral and one of our earliest Calibrachoa to bloom. Thanks to remarkable cold and heat tolerance, it'll be one of the first plants to ship out in spring and among the last to quit blooming as the season ends. The slightly looser, mounded trailing habit of this new Superbell's helps it mix well in recipes paired with other medium vigor plants like Supertunia petunias, Superbena Royale verbenas, and Colorblaze drop coleus. Next up is a spicy new pattern for our Colorblaze line. Colorblaze Pepperflakes coleus grows quickly into a robust mound of feathery textured, maroon-red leaves that are heavily flecked with chartreuse. What sets all Colorblaze coleus apart and makes them so long-lasting and easy to grow is their tendency to flower very late or, in the case of Colorblaze Pepperflakes, produce few to no flowers at all. Plus, they're as colorful in the shade as they are in the sun. In small container production, pinching Colorblaze Pepperflakes may not be necessary. In Royale and larger pots, 1 or 2 pinches or Florel can be used to increase branching. Matching our largest landscape-sized lantanas like Luscious Citrus Blend, Luscious Vanilla Breeze joins the series in 2027. It blooms prolifically with cool white flowers that open from buttery yellow buds, a color that's easy to pair with just about everything in container recipes or in the garden. Because all Luscious lantanas are bred to set little to no seed, Luscious Vanilla Breeze flowers non-stop all season without deadheading. New for 2027, Sunstar Red 2 Pentas is a truer red blooming selection that is a far better match to others in the series when it comes to sizing, vigor, habit, and large flower clusters. It also earns high marks in trials for strong heat and humidity tolerance. Sunstar Pentas are essential annuals in southern and western markets because of their amazing summer durability, but thanks to modern genetics, they've also proven to be easy to grow in cooler climates. Last up in our list of new proven winners annuals for 2027 is an item you'll want to grow first: cold-tolerant Aromance Plum Honey Nemesia. But like Aromance Mulberry and Aromance Pink, this newest member of the series has also proven to have outstanding heat and humidity tolerance in our multi-year trials. You'll notice Aromance Plum Honey's fragrant flowers are quite a bit larger than most Nemesia, which shows off the bicolor plum purple and yellow tones nicely. The foliage is more compact too, with an upright mounded habit that presents well in grande containers for retail and fits easily into trays for shipping. The Proven Accents program features fun foliage plants that make ideal companions to Proven Winners annuals, adding interesting texture to container recipes. For retailers, it allows them to merchandise Proven Accents along with Proven Winners flowering annuals and graceful grasses. That simplifies consumers' shopping experience by having thrillers, spillers, and fillers all in one display area. The program expands in 2027 with the addition of Sweet Caroline Bewitched After Midnight 2 Ipomea, a mounding variety with dissected, pointed leaves in a deeper purple-black color that does not fade in the heat or humidity. A slightly looser habit helps Sweet Caroline Bewitched After Midnight 2 mix more easily in container recipes for a more blended look. It's a perfect companion to Sweet Caroline Bewitched Green with Envy. To learn more about these Proven Winners annuals or to place an order, visit provenwinners.com/2027 resources. 2027 is going to be a banner year for new Proven Winners perennials, as 7 new genera join the line, which now includes nearly 300 cultivars. Let's take a look at our new perennials debuting in 2027, starting with 10 top picks. First up is our #1 top pick perennial, Forged in Fire Heliopsis. This native false sunflower produces large, semi-double, vivid gold flowers with a striking burgundy to burnt orange center that's a bullseye for pollinating bees and butterflies. The dark green foliage is mildew resistant, a key factor in our Heliopsis breeding, and is robust, rising to nearly 3 feet tall at maturity. All the Buzz Allium earns a top pick spot thanks to its outstanding garden performance and container presence. Like Serendipity Allium, the golf ball-sized rosy purple flowers are an absolute magnet for pollinators, but their oniony scent makes them distasteful to deer and rabbits. You'll find that it flowers about 2 weeks earlier than both Serendipity and Millennium, which allows for the planting of multiple varieties that bloom over an extended window. With a slightly shorter and wider stance, all the Buzz Allium fills out containers fully for a more attractive appearance at retail. Next is an addition to our Sun Jewels series of sun-loving, drought-tolerant alpine bleeding hearts. Sun Jewels Rubies and Diamonds Dicentra presents ruby red flowers above the blue foliage first in late spring. By early summer, it's hitting its peak bloom time when it continues flowering into the fall. It joined Sun Jewels Pink Diamonds and Sun Jewels White Diamonds as a new top pick perennial in 2027. Our next top pick perennial is Living Large Dark Sky, the newest member of our supersized perennial salvia collection. Deep indigo blue flowers rise more than 2 feet tall in late spring, and secondary branching prolongs the bloom time into summer. You can bet pollinators are going to love the huge blooms of Living Large Dark Sky. Thankfully, deer and rabbits aren't as impressed. Living Large Dark Sky Salvia is a vigorous grower that fills out pots fully with its large leaves that form a dense basal rosette. It'll fly off the benches at retail when in bloom. Our next top pick is a new genus for Proven Winners perennials. Cloud Cover Cerastium is an incredibly useful perennial that thrives in hot, dry weather. Deer and rabbits don't seem to bother it either. Cloud Cover earns its name from the cloud of pure white flowers that hovers above the silver foliage in spring, but it's the foliage that really carries this perennial's interest all season. Growers will notice that this compact selection has more intense silver foliage and larger flowers than common seed strains of Cerastium. It's produced vegetatively to ensure uniformity in the crop. Top pick Summer Serenade Lavender is one of our earliest blooming varieties. It's packed with true lavender purple, classically fragrant flowers beginning in early summer. Much like our top-selling Sweet Romance Lavender, Summer Serenade continues to produce fresh flowers all the way through early fall, giving it a very broad sales window at retail. Summer Serenade has a dense, rounded habit that works perfectly as a short hedge in landscapes. For areas where soil drainage is an issue, the broad canopy also looks stunning in trough or bowl planters. Southern growers and retailers will be glad to hear that Summer Serenade blooms well without fertilization. Our next top pick perennial is the newest addition to our Bejeweled series of mid-sized penstemons. The large, dark reddish purple flowers of Bejeweled Dark Amethyst makes it a real standout on retail benches and in landscapes, and pollinators and hummingbirds seem equally impressed. It joins the new Bejeweled Lavender Sapphires, which shares the same attributes but with brighter lavender blue flowers that have rosy purple accents. With their native roots in the southwest United States, Bejeweled penstemons are drought-tolerant, fire-resistant, and salt-tolerant. Lastly on our list of top pick perennials for 2027 is a trio of native Prairie Winds perennial grasses. Prairie Winds Blue Steel Andropogon, or Big Bluestem Grass, is the first Andropogon introduction for Proven Winners perennials. It's a durable, easy-natured grass that holds up well in tough growing conditions like drought and heavy clay soil. Most big blue stems on the market aren't blue at all, but that's where Prairie Winds Blue Steel is so distinctive. It forms a 4.5-foot tall vertical pillar of steel blue foliage with purple highlights that intensify in the fall. In fact, Prairie Winds Blue Steel was one of the bluest among all the grasses in our trials, not just among the Andropogons. It produces deep purple inflorescences as opposed to the tawny green panicles of our next top pick grass, Prairie Winds Blue Spear Panicum. It's a new look for the genus. Blue Spear's seed panicles are fused and have a very unique sorghum-like appearance that will help it stand out on the retail bench. Cut flower growers and gardeners should take note. These are perfect for making fall arrangements. Last up in our trio of new top pick grasses is another new genus for the Prairie Winds collection. Prairie Winds Candyfloss Muhlenbergia is a fresh approach that solves the issue of unreliable overwintering which can plague pink muley grass. We've trialed Prairie Winds Candyfloss for many years to make sure its garden performance is worthy of the Proven Winners name. You'll also find this new selection blooms almost a month earlier than most muley grasses, forming a cloud of deep rose-pink blooms that completely envelop the foliage in early fall. Unlike seed-grown muley grass, Prairie Winds Candyfloss is propagated by tissue culture to ensure uniformity in the crop's habit and flower color. Let's keep going with the grasses and look at two new native sedges that we'll be introducing in 2027. Noble Native Spreading or Woodland Sedge is an exciting variegated selection with creamy white-striped blue-green foliage that's brightest in the spring. The narrow, arching leaves and compact habit present well in containers, and it makes a great small-scale ground cover for shade. Contrast that with our second native sedge coming in 2027 called Shade Fanfare. Its leaves are much wider and slightly puckered, which earns it the nickname Seersucker Sedge. Shade Fanfare is variegated too, this time with green leaves edged in creamy white. This low-growing, clump-forming sedge is semi-evergreen, providing year-round interest in most climates. A beautiful complement to ornamental grasses in the landscape is the Japanese anemone, and a new one called Fall in Love Deeply joins our line in 2027. You might already know its series companion, Fall in Love Sweetly, which has softer pink flowers. Fall in Love Deeply bears deep rose-pink flowers from late summer well into the fall and is a pollinator magnet right up until the last blossom falls. The habit is more restrained than common aggressive anemones, and it spreads slowly by short rhizomes. Another series expansion to look forward to in 2027 is Decadence Deluxe Lemon Smoothie Baptisia. It stands about a foot taller than Decadence Lemon Meringue, which produces similar bright yellow flowers. But you'll notice it blooms later and has strong secondary branching, which makes it one of our longest flowering Baptisias. If you've grown our Decadence Baptisia, you know our bare root plants are absolutely the way to go if you're looking to fill out a true 1-gallon pot with multiple shoots in one season. To hit multiple price points or to lower your input costs, consider our 72-count plugs. The first pure white flower dianthus joins our Fruit Punch collection in 2027. Fruit Punch whipped cream produces large, fragrant, fluffy double flowers above a mound of blue-green foliage. This new introduction and all of the Fruit Punch dianthus have excellent vigor, longevity in the landscape, and rebloom sporadically throughout the summer. Next, let me tell you about a breeding breakthrough in our award-winning Summerific Hibiscus collection. Summerific Glitter Bomb Hibiscus is a rare streaked and speckled selection, the first of its kind in the Summerific collection. Its huge 7-inch diameter flowers are medium pink with peppermint pink accents and a bright red eye. They're produced all over the gumdrop-shaped dark olive green foliage from midsummer to fall. Also new to the collection this year is Summerific Coconut Cream Hibiscus, a true yellow hardy perennial hibiscus and the darkest yellow we've seen to date. It's an overall upgrade over Summerific French Vanilla with improved color, habit, foliage, and winter hardiness. Summerific Coconut Cream produces creamy yellow flowers with a red eye that bursts forth from soft yellow buds in midsummer and continue on until the fall. The light-colored flowers really pop against the dark green foliage that has soft purple highlights. Thanks to the groundbreaking breeding happening at our perennial partner Walter's Gardens, exciting new colors are creeping into hardy hibiscus. Summerific Coconut Cream and Summerific Glitter Bomb are perfect examples of that good work. Like our Decadence Baptisia, you can't beat our bare root Summerific Hibiscus for size and bulk in just a few short months. We recommend growing them in 3-gallon containers planted in spring for early summer sales. Or for a slightly smaller 2-gallon crop that will be ready in time for Summerific Week in early August, start with 72-count plugs planted in early to midsummer. Now, let's jump over to our shade perennial collection and talk about 2 new must-have hostas for 2027. Debuting this season is a new sub-series of our largest hostas called Shadowland Giant, a collection of our giant hostas like Empress Wu and Wu La La, and new for 2027, Shadowland Giant Humongosaurus. Shadowland Giant Humongosaurus is an enormous chartreuse to golden yellow variety that displays huge heart-shaped leaves with deep veins and slightly rippled edges. A mature specimen can span a whopping 7 feet across. Contrast that with a somewhat smaller and still large hosta named Shadowland Affair to Remember. It was named by renowned hosta breeder Hans Hansen, who spent 15 years perfecting this beauty. Shadowland Affair to Remember bears striking tricolor heart-shaped leaves. Dark green margins surround the pale greenish-yellow center with lime green feathering in between. Its white flowers hover just above the foliage and attract hummingbirds. Next, let's look at 2 more new shade perennials that coordinate well with hostas, color additions to our Bouquet Perfect series of double-flowered primroses. Bouquet Perfect Rosalina primula features large, double bright pink flowers with white pickety edges. They're presented like a perfect bouquet atop the neatly mounded foliage in the spring. And since the flowers are sterile, they bloom for an exceptionally long time compared to many primroses. Bouquet Perfect Scarletta primula ties its series companion Bouquet Perfect Watercolor Blue as having the largest double flowers, this time in a striking shade of scarlet red that absolutely glows in the shade. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we're introducing new Nectar Ninja Hyssop, which fills a totally different niche than spring primroses. This sun-loving, drought-tolerant ornamental herb blooms from midsummer to late summer with lavender blue flower spikes that are an absolute magnet for pollinators. Nectar Ninja is a refined selection with a compact, mounded habit. It's a versatile, low-maintenance, semi-evergreen perennial that is effectively planted in large groups in the landscape. Launching in 2027 is a new series of earlier blooming, reblooming Gnaphophias called Rise and Shine. They extend Gnaphophia's season by at least 2 weeks, flowering first in early summer with good rebloom throughout the summer months. Rise and Shine's Citrus Sunrise Nephofia produces solid golden yellow flower spikes that stand well above the wider, strappy leaves. It's a nice complement to Rise and Shine Mango Mimosa Nephofia, which has mango orange flowers that open from dark buds on strong stems. It's a bit shorter than Rise and Shine Citrus Sunrise. Choose our 72 count Rise and Shine Nephofia plugs if you plan to plant in mid to late summer to have finished product ready earlier the following spring. For summer crops in premium 1-gallon containers, start with our larger bare root Nephofia, planted in late winter to spring. Next on the list is Web Designer, a bold new cultivar of our native Tradescantia. Its striking blue flowers are some of the largest you'll find on any selection, appearing from early summer through midsummer. Bees will feed on it from the moment the flowers open and continue until every last one is spent. The foliage is impressive too, staying fresh and tidy looking well into the fall. Let's close out our list of new perennials for 2027 with Glowing Review's Persicaria. This standout fall bloomer shines with golden chartreuse foliage that holds up well in full sun without burning. Compared to the industry standard golden arrows, it is notably more vigorous and earlier to bloom. Vibrant cerise red flowers open from dark red buds on wiry spikes in early fall, and they help to sustain pollinator activity late into the season. Glowing Review's Persicaria makes a terrific fall companion planting with Cheyenne Sky red switchgrass. To learn more about these Proven Winners perennials varieties or to place an order, visit provenwinners.com/2027 resources. For more than 2 decades, Proven Winners Color Choice has been revolutionizing the shrub industry by introducing an exceptional array of new and innovative flowering shrubs, vines, evergreens, trees, and most recently, tropical hibiscus. From native plants to niche varieties and improved classics, Proven Winners Color Choice has them all. In 2027, you can expect a deeper dive into garden favorites like hydrangeas, camellias, and roses, while also opening up new opportunities in lesser-known genera like Myrica and Vitex. Let's take a look at the new Proven Winners Color Choice shrub varieties for the 2027 season, starting with 6 top picks. I'll start with everyone's favorite shrub, hydrangeas. Top pick Invincible Wee White 2.0 Hydrangea Arborescens debuts this year as an improvement over the original in both color and form. Pure white flowers age to green without any hints of pink like the original, and they're produced in abundance on strong, sturdy stems. As a very compact hydrangea, Invincible Wee White 2.0 has stunning retail presence and long-lasting garden performance, a key factor in all Proven Winners breeding. It works well in mass plantings, as edging or short hedging, and is also perfectly sized for containers. Our next top pick is an evergreen shrub named Sasquatch Dark Green Thuya, which deserves a place on every grower's and garden center's bench and in every home garden from zones 2 through 9. You may be familiar with Niagara Thuya, which is known for its winter performance, but it is also a heavy cedar which can detract from its appearance and stunt growth. Sasquatch Dark Green Thuya solves both of those issues. It's nearly seedless with a more attractive habit and stronger growth. Standing 20 to 30 feet tall, Sasquatch Dark Green makes a terrific evergreen hedge. Growers can expect strong demand from the landscape trade. Double Play Princess Spirea represents another key breeding breakthrough, making it a top pick for 2027. We've spent years seeking an improvement over the landscape staple Little Princess Spirea, and after trialing hundreds of selections, we've found it in Double Play Princess. Larger, non-fading, brighter pink flowers are produced profusely from top to bottom in late spring. Double Play Princess also has a neater, more compact habit that gives it excellent container presence and appeal on the retail bench and in the landscape yard. Like all of our Double Play Spireas, Double Play Princess has colorful, attractive foliage and is a durable, disease-resistant shrub. Two exceptional new broadleaf evergreens hold our next two top pick slots for 2027. Warm-Hearted Pink and Warm-Hearted Ruby Camellias are the longest blooming selections we've ever encountered, delivering 20 or more weeks of bloom from fall to late winter. Warm-Hearted Hybrid Camellias combine the bold winter flowers of Camellia japonica with the fall-blooming, self-cleaning aspect of Camellia sasanqua. Warm-Hearted Pink produces an abundance of clear pink flowers, while Warm-Hearted Ruby blooms with double pinkish red flowers. Both are strong growers that form densely branched trees with glossy, deep green, evergreen foliage. Sticking with broadleaf evergreens, our last top pick shrub for 2027 is Jade Turtle Prunus. This tidy, compact evergreen features large, rounded, dark green leaves with copper red new growth. Jade Turtle's extra thick, glossy foliage has demonstrated better resistance to shot hole disease. Because of this shrub's neater habit, it fills a similar role as boxwood in the landscape. Jade Turtle requires minimal pruning and spacing in production, so it's an easy crop for growers to produce. Sticking with heat-tolerant evergreens for warmer climates, Bayside Bonito Myrica, commonly known as Southern Wax Myrtle, makes its debut in 2027. Bayside Bonito is a tall, broad, native evergreen that works great for forming screens and hedges, is useful for controlling erosion, and can handle the wet, salty soils along the seaside. Bayside Bonito is a healthy, densely branched myrica that responds well to shearing. This male selection does not bear fruit. Our last broadleaf evergreen debuting in 2027 is Gembox Prime Inkberry Holly. It's an update to Gembox with a denser habit and branching that starts even lower to the ground. Gembox Prime is an ideal shrub for low-maintenance hedges and an attractive plant for borders. Growers should note that Gembox Prime is an improved container plant in production compared to Gembox. Proper spacing is critical for growing a full, lush finished plant. Joining our award-winning series of Oh So Easy roses in 2027 is Oh So Easy Pathfinder Red, the first in our new series of ground cover roses that bears fire engine red flowers. The dark green foliage of Oh So Easy Pathfinder Red is exceptionally disease resistant. Coupled with self-cleaning flowers, this is one of the most beautiful, low-maintenance roses you can grow. The compact, densely mounded habit of Oh So Easy Pathfinder Red works well in mass plantings and in landscape borders as a low-growing or ground cover rose. Thanks to beautiful container presentation, it's sure to have instant retail appeal. The newest color addition to our series of amazingly fragrant roses is Reminiscent Ginger, which bears warm orange, classically shaped blossoms. New buds are continuously produced to replace the maturing flowers on this blooming machine of a rose. Reliable disease resistance keeps the dark green, glossy foliage looking great all season. Reminiscent Ginger is truly one of the best roses we've ever trialed, and we can't wait for you to grow it too. You're already familiar with the reliability and vigorous growth of Pugster and lo and behold Buddleias. New this year, Darkest Night Buddleia joins the line as a greatly improved version of the industry classic Dark Night. You'll notice Darkest Night's large flower panicles are much deeper purple as they bloom from summer to frost. We've refined the plant's habit too, so it's far more attractive in containers for growers and retailers and in the landscape. Pugster Sorbet Buddleia joins the series in 2027 with multicolored clear purple and bright bluish purple flower panicles that point upwards for extra showiness. The silver foliage complements the flowers, which attract butterflies for months. The garden performance of Pugster Sorbet has been outstanding in our trials and is a top staff favorite. Growers and gardeners alike will appreciate that Pugster Sorbet Buddleia is a non-invasive selection that won't spread, a trait that has earned it a place in our in-check program of sterile, seedless, and non-invasive shrubs. Improving on our award-winning Sugar Shack Buttonbush for 2027 is Sugar Shack 2.0, an even more compact version that blooms more prolifically. The perfectly round white flowers are wonderfully fragrant, traits that attract pollinators in the summertime. Sugar Shack 2.0's season of interest is extended even further on the retail bench and in the landscape thanks to showy red fruits and striking fall color. It's a smart native solution for wet areas and where deer browsing is an issue. Our next new introduction is Ripple Effect Clethra, another native shrub that can tolerate wet soils and is a pollinator favorite. Ripple Effect was selected for its larger, successively blooming, fragrant white flower panicles. They really pop against the dense, compact, glossy dark green foliage in summer. Joining the collection in 2027 is Yuki Cherry Blossom 2.0 Deutzia, an improved selection with vivid pink flowers that hold their color far better than others on the market. The foliage is nicer too, developing dark burgundy purple tones as early as midsummer in our trials. Yuki Cherry Blossom 2.0 can be sold long past spring since it keeps the interest going with that colorful foliage. This new selection has a low mounded habit and does not spread quickly, which makes it a lower maintenance Deutzia for landscapes. Destined to become as popular as the sport that shares its name, Pickleball 9-bark joins the line this year as the smallest variety on the market with a distinctive rounded habit. Expect Pickleball to top out at around 3 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide. In production, Pickleball requires very little pruning or spacing. It blooms prolifically even as a young plant, packing big impact into containers with white flowers that attract pollinators. Pickleball 9-bark is attractive even without flowers. The vibrant green, disease-resistant foliage shines all season, even in times of drought. New for 2027, Pink Pony Sambucus is a completely reimagined elderberry that is greatly improved over Black Beauty Sambucus. It's extra long blooming with vivid pink flowers that resist fading and consistently dark bluish black foliage. Pink Pony is a large shrub with a refined habit. It makes a superb flowering 3-gallon finish plant and has incredible impulse appeal at retail. In landscape, it works well as a dramatic backdrop for borders, even where deer are commonly present. Kodiak Green Dervilla expands on the popular series in 2027 with two-toned light green and dark green foliage. The contrast provides unique, fresh texture to this low-maintenance, drought-tolerant native shrub. The abundant yellow flowers of Kodiak Green are strongly attractive to pollinators. Its full mounded habit and vigorous growth in production make it an easy win for growers, retailers, and landscapers. Building on the popularity of Glow Girl Birch Leaf Spirea, the new Glow Girl Pink Spirea Betulifolia is the most distinctive and beautiful pink-flowered form we've ever trialed. It's truly a shrub that shines all season. Pollinators and hummingbirds enjoy the pink flowers in late spring. They really pop against the glowing chartreuse foliage, which turns beautiful shades of red, orange, and yellow in autumn. Glow Girl Pink grows well in the sun but also shines in part shade. A narrow, upright form of Vitex named Featherman joins the line in 2027. Fluffy, feather-like foliage is distinctive and textural, helping this shrub stand out on retail benches and in the landscape. Featherman is a durable heat and drought-tolerant Vitex that deer despise, earning it a place in our popular deer-proof line. Pollinators love the small, blue flower spikes in the summertime. Our last new introduction from Proven Winners Color Choice for 2027 is Moongate Mocha Clematis, a stunning new selection that is going to take the market by storm. Moongate Mocha features dark chocolate-colored foliage and satin pink flowers from late spring to early summer. Strong vigor helps it grow quickly and climb high up into arbors and trellises. The colorful foliage of Moongate Mocha Clematis remains attractive long after the flowers are finished, extending the sales window for growers and retailers and the season of interest in the landscape. To learn more about these Proven Winners Color Choice varieties or to place an order, visit provenwinners.com/2027 resources. It's now been 3 years since Proven Winners Color Choice debuted the line of Hollywood Hibiscus, premium tropical hibiscus now sold in our signature white branded containers. We're looking for selections with improved foliage, an attractive habit, increased pest and disease resistance, and plentiful extra-large flowers that face upward and outward to show off their vibrant colors. New to the line for 2027 is Hollywood Hibiscus Golden Globe, a glowing yellow selection with a deep red center and heavily ruffled petals. It joins 13 other eye-catching varieties in shades of red, pink, orange, gold, and white. Growers and retailers have seamless access to Hollywood Hibiscus varieties through Spring Meadow Nursery growers and the existing network of Hollywood Hibiscus licensed growers. We're proud of the amazing work that our partners at Classic Caladiums and Abbott Ipco continue to do on heart-to-heart caladiums, Be My Calla Lilies, and Emerald Isle Alocasia. 2 brand new colors debuted in our Heart-to-Heart Caladiums line this year. The elegant bronze, pink, and cream Heart-to-Heart Creme Brulee, as well as the first ever near black caladium, Heart-to-Heart Midnight Oil. Both are perfect colors to include in fall caladium programs in the South and West, and they provide eye-catching color on summer retail benches in markets across North America. Christmas caladiums offer a fresh twist on holiday decorating, with 18 varieties in festive shades of red, green, and white. For consumers looking for new ways to celebrate the season, they make a fun alternative or complement to traditional poinsettias. What really sets Classic Caladiums apart from every other caladium grower are their industry-leading production techniques that translate to a steadier, more reliable supply of premium quality heart-to-heart bulbs. Growing heart-to-heart caladiums in raised, laser-leveled sandy beds is a far safer production method. As a result, heart-to-heart bulbs are typically larger and more robust than generic caladium bulbs and can be supplied more reliably. Additionally, all heart-to-heart bulbs are painted and de-eyed to make them easy to plant right side up, yielding fuller, finished plants and a more uniform crop. For more information about the Heart-to-Heart program and other varieties available from Classic Caladiums, visit provenwinners.com/2027 resources. Caladiums are the perfect lead-in to our partnership with Netherland Bulb Company, the industry's market leader in flower bulbs. We've joined forces to create new opportunities in the packaged bulb category for independent garden centers using hand-selected premium varieties and upscale retail packaging. Both spring-planted and fall-planted bulbs now carry the powerful Proven Winners brand name. Unique varieties of tulips, daffodils, hyacinth, and alliums are featured in our fall-planted bulb collection. Spring-planted dahlias, lilies, and caladiums are packaged and ready to merchandise in stores early each spring when foot traffic is highest. Always focused on consumer success, we include planting instructions and garden tips on all of our premium bulb packaging. Convenient and eye-catching store racks and signage are available to make merchandising easy for retail staff. For more information or to order, contact your Netherland Bulb Company sales representative or visit provenwinners.com/2027 resources. We believe that a happier customer starts with a better houseplant, and quality starts at the source. That's why we've partnered with the plant company to create Proven Winners LeafJoy, an elevated way to bring nature inside. We know people get frustrated when they want to buy houseplants and there are either no tags at all or generic ones that don't explain what the plant actually is or how to care for it. People are tired of weedy or diseased plants with insect issues, which often happen when the houseplants are produced outdoors. From the very beginning of the LeafJoy houseplant line, we've worked to address and resolve these issues. LeafJoy plants are grown in cutting-edge, climate-controlled greenhouses to exacting standards that include virus testing on all of our crops. We make sure only the healthiest plants make their way out of our doors. Every LeafJoy plant comes with an informative variety-specific tag so shoppers know exactly which variety it is and how to best care for it at home. And the LeafJoy line includes a broad array of sizes and products, from sample-sized LeafJoy Littles and LeafJoy H2O in eye-catching vessels to terrariums and rare collector's edition varieties. Whether shoppers want to spend just a little or are ready to indulge in something extraordinary, LeafJoy has many options for houseplant enthusiasts. Unique houseplants, many of which are brand new to the market, are a hallmark of LeafJoy. Working with leading plant breeders around the world, we are revolutionizing the houseplant market one cool plant at a time. Sustainability is a core tenet of Proven Winners. It permeates every facet of our brand, including LeafJoy. That's why our newest all-natural Proven Winners plant care products are the natural next step. So let me tell you about Climate, Shine It, and Shield It. Even before their full debut, Climate plant supports have been racking up awards. The line includes 100% plastic-free and chemical-free climbing poles, planks, and stakes made from elephant grass and potato skins. Their bark-like texture encourages plants to cling and climb, and Climate biodegradable clips, wire, and extenders aid them in the process. Retail kit displays are available to conveniently merchandise Climate products together in one space-saving kiosk. Shine It and Shield It sprays use all-natural plant-based ingredients to help keep houseplants healthy and beautiful. They clean and condition the foliage as well as repel and control most common houseplant pests. Plus, when used as directed, these gentle sprays are safe to use around people and pets, exactly the kinds of plant care products you can feel confident using inside the home. For more information about LeafJoy plants and care products, visit provenwinners.com/2027 resources. Not just new, proven. And not just plants and garden products, but value and success-focused opportunities that benefit everyone, from growers to retailers, landscape trades, and consumers. That's what Proven Winners is all about. We're passionate about building brand recognition and consumer trust, built on the innovative work of our breeding partners and far-reaching multimedia marketing campaigns every single day of the year. And it enables us to deliver value that is unmatched by any other plant brand in the industry. We stand by our core belief that a better garden starts with a better plant. And I hope you found a few new varieties you need to try in 2027. I sure did. Now, I know I shared a lot of information with you today, but remember, you can easily revisit any topic anytime you'd like. We invite you to explore more resources about our plants and products for 2027 online at provenwinners.com/2027 resources. So, on behalf of the entire Proven Winners family, thank you for watching. Thank you for your partnership, and thank you for helping to make Proven Winners the brand gardeners trust.